Amy, stop being a... Give me that. Hello, Amy's being a child, and welcome to Young Guns. And I'm going to start with a very bad... I didn't mean that. I'm going to start with a very bad mixed metaphor by saying that both barrels are packed, and Amy, we're ready to fire.
We certainly are, and Greg's been reading the thesaurus a little much over the weekend, not watching enough football. But as you said, both barrels are packed, and we had a good round one, a corker of a round one. Greg, what was your highlight?
I didn't look at the thesaurus. I want everyone to put their attention to this little highlights package of St Kilda's Trent Noble. In under-18s, a bump like this, normally you just run on, but look at him here. He's just in a world of hurt with his shoulder after decking Michael Mansfield. Here we see it again. Mansfield, it's all ball, 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 bang, ground, ground, ground. Mansfield mixed up there. So great start from St Kilda's Trent Noble. The Saints going on to win that game. That happened in the fourth quarter, and Amy, a very poignant moment in that match.
Excellent. Well, not the only rookie having a great game. As usual, we've got our rookies and young players update. This is Guns Blazing. And
the first person we're looking at, Amy, is Geelong's James Bartlett. First touch here, he receives a few rabbiters and head rubs in that pack. Then shows some great foot skills to find a friend in the forward line. Should be a great player for Geelong. James Bartlett, very promising.
Excellent, yep. And the next player there we've got from the Hawthorn Footy Club, Stephen Green. Now, just watch this. I think he needs a nickname, maybe the Big Bomber or something like that. Big Bomber playing for Hawthorn. Nice long kicks to that one to Dixon there.
There's another long kick by Green. Although he finds one of his friends in the forward line, I have a sneaking suspicion that he was going for home there. He will claim it as a pass. The next person is Adelaide rookie Graham Johncock. Big John to his friends, was part of a refreshed lineup for the Crows that beat the Bulldogs on the weekend, and here he kicks a beautiful goal. Very promising player for the Crows, and for the start of the season they look very good, as do their hugging regime. I think this is a new tactic, to hug after kicking a goal.
Lots of affection. And next up from the Richmond Footy Club, David Roden, new nickname perhaps the Rodent, like a fierce rat maybe.
I'm sure you'll be very happy with that nickname too, Amy.
Nice hug here, hugging again there on Leon Davis. Very powerful young man. And
his legs, very big legs, very fast, and shows great composure with the ball. So I think he's also going to be another star to look out for the Tigers. One bad note to end round one, and that's the injury of Geelong's David Johnson, suffering a bit of an ankle explosion, as I like to call it, Amy. So bad news there for the Geelong youngster.
Yeah, considering he was playing his first senior game against Essendon, where his brother Mark plays. Not good. Tragedy. But no tragedy now. We've got a special guest with us, as we said. Big show from the Melbourne Footy Club. Would you please make welcome Stephen Armstrong?
Yes. The great man, Steve Armstrong.
How you going?
Good.
Good to see you.
Now, every guest that comes on Young Guns, Steve, has to bring a collectible. Last week I brought in the... what did I bring in again?
What is his name? That's Amore. What's his name?
Yeah, Dean Martin, I think his name was. That's how special that present was to Young Guns. Steve, so what have you brought in for us here?
Well, I found a card at a foster family where I'm staying of myself of last year. Where is it?
There we go.
There you go.
A card. So that's your own football card?
Yeah, of last year's team.
Wow, that is excellent. So that's you there in all your glory from the waffle. So it's got your details there on the back.
Yeah.
So anyone could have been collecting that.
Yeah, well, I didn't have much stuff coming from Perth, so...
Yeah.
You packed very lightly then, Steve.
Just took a card.
Now, I brought Dean Martin in last week, Amy, and you've got one to add to the collectible shelf as well.
Now, this is very special, dear to my heart. This is Teddy Ruxpin. Now, Teddy Ruxpin happens to be my Teddy, and I've had him for a very, very long time. Now, Teddy has this very special thing happening here. Put a bit of a tape in the old back of Teddy, whack it in, and he'll read you a story if you've got the right tapes. But it doesn't work if you're listening to Bros or Eye of the Tiger.
Can we just perhaps focus in on young Teddy's eyes there? Amy, can I just ask you exactly, you spent time with Teddy before the show. He's looking very happy with himself. Exactly what went on?
Well, I left him alone for a very long time. I think he's been possessed by something.
Possessed Teddy Ruxpin. I think I might just...
Hey!
I can't believe you brought a teddy bear on. Let's get back to Steve. You're over from Perth, played with the Perth Demons in the Waffle. You had your first game on the weekend, running on against Hawthorn. How did that feel?
Oh, it was amazing. It was magnificent to run out first game and round one just against a quality side and in front of 44,000 or something around then. It was great.
We've got shots of you walking onto the ground with Nita, David Nates.
Yep.
And did he say anything to you going into positions?
No, all the boys looked after me really. They just, before the game, Ox come up to me and he said, oh, anyone gives you a hassle, just give me a call and he'll be straight over. So I would have been looked after if anything happened.
Excellent. Got the heavies out there working for you.
Yeah, lucky.
Nice.
When you see the, I mean, you're just a youngster and there's a lot more developed and older players, he-men on the field.
Yeah.
When you walk out, do you sort of, not a fear, but you just think, oh, I'm really in the big time now. I've got these guys that are going to iron me out.
I know, you wish you
game.
had eyes all around your head. I mean, just watching out, you just, as soon as you get the ball, you think, oh, get rid of it.
And we've also got pictures of your first kick in AFL, and it came from a free kick. It must have felt good to get this one off your chest.
It was very nice.
Yeah, you just wanted to kick and, got a head high. I usually get a lot of head highs, being a small bloke, and
Where is it?
Oh, how did that feel? A bit of a neck rub.
Yeah, a bit of a neck rub, not too bad. Yeah.
Coming from that, we would have had whiplash from that. And then you just pass it off and that results in a goal there, does it, for the D? So
yeah, it was good.
Nice work. That must have felt nice.
Now I'm looking at your player card here, and it's got a nickname, Army, on there. Now I've got a theory. I've actually used your name in my Australian nickname formula, which is adding a vowel to your name, or using it with another famous name. So I've come up with Stevie or Neil, as in Neil Armstrong. Am I correct? Or if I'm not, what is your nickname here with Melbourne?
Yeah, my nickname's Army, but I mean, a few of the boys, they pick up on Neil, Lance Armstrong, and so it was Lance for a while, but they've sort of really gone back to Army because, I mean, I can't say that I dislike it because they'll just call me that. So I'll just go, oh, whatever.
Just sort of sooking in the corner going, I wish you wouldn't call me there.
You picked that number 25 in the draft. A lot of people, particularly Melbourne, thought you were going to go a lot earlier than that. What approaches did you have from clubs before the season? I mean, did clubs treat you like the Olympic Committee from Salt Lake City and start throwing boots and jackets and money at you? I mean, what sort of association or contact with the clubs do you have?
Not quite like just throwing boots and jackets at me, but they really just came up, and I suppose I was lucky enough to speak to 15 of the clubs. And the only club I didn't speak to was Western Bulldogs, and just at draft camp you sit down and talk with all the clubs, and before they ring you or they want to come to your house and talk to you, it was just really by phone or by just coming and see you personally.
And that must have been sort of the beginning of it.
Yeah.
Like the beginning of feeling sort of it all happening. How quickly does that process sort of move along? How quickly does it happen as you're drafted and then you move over to Melbourne?
It doesn't move quickly because they start talking about it during the season, and you just go about things playing game by game, and you read, Stephen's going to get picked up at this number or that number, and it's only halfway during the season and they're already making up their mind, and you just want it to be over. And I moved over to Melbourne 2nd December and I've been here since then.
Where were you sitting, or where were you when your name was called out?
I was at Channel 10 studio actually.
In Perth?
Yeah, with my auntie Tanya Armstrong, and I was just watching it on the internet because they didn't televise it, so just waited for my name to come up, but my manager messaged me on my phone and said you're off to the D's, so a bit of a surprise, but it was good.
Were you hoping to go to any particular club, or did you think you were going to go to a certain club after the chats you'd been having and so on?
You have mixed feelings. You think you're going to Hawthorn because they ring it. Clubs seem more keener than some others, and you think, okay, well, if I get past number 12, I'm going to Hawthorn, or if I get 6 Eagles or 22 Eagles. And I wanted to stay with WA, be with a WA club, but I'm really happy at Melbourne at the moment, and I'm enjoying it thoroughly.
Excellent.
And the big crowds, 44,000 at the G. Again, that must be a different experience because I think 2 to 3 at the Waffle. From memory.
We get 2,000 to 3,000 at the Waffle, even probably 1.5 is probably max. But walking on 44,000, you just walk down to the forward line, you're trying to focus, but you always glance up and just have a look around you and see the crowd, and it was so loud as well. I mean, it felt like even more than 44,000.
Sure. Now, I just want to throw to something here. We've got that impressive bump that we saw a bit earlier. There was a bump from the game. Is it who?
Tallis, Raiden Tallis.
Tallis from Hawthorn Footy Club. What stage of the game is that in that you're powering through there and he just hits the wall and goes bang and he's down?
Oh, he could have slipped.
You're being very nice. You're being very nice there, Steve.
I was happy with that.
You saw him out of your peripheral vision?
Yeah, I gave the handball, and then I suppose I knew I was going to get contact, and for him to fall over, I just thought, yes.
It must have felt good, because he would have backed himself to lay you flat
probably.
there, and he's just done the rebound.
Yeah. And you run off and you look back and you think, yeah.
Nice one.
Look good anyway.
For sure. Now, we're going to have a bit of a break, but we've got a film clip coming up now. Our friends, Oasis, they are close friends of ours, Greg, and we gave them a bit of a challenge, the Oasis boys. We said, we want a film clip, and we want you to use milk, we want you to use glasses, and what else do we want him to use?
I'm not sure, but when you have a look at this clip...
Guns, you know, as in young guns.
When you have a look at this clip, you'll realise that Oasis is the thinking man's band. Just so creative and so deep on so many levels, Amy.
It is. This is the Hindu Times courtesy of Sony Music. This is Oasis.
He made the goal up high work a bit, but he's got the goal.
I mean, maybe he's got a bit of a head rush.
Wrecking up my Teddy. Teddy Ruxton's copying it in here today. We are, of course, joined. You saw Stephen Armstrong there kicking his first goal in league footy. We are, of course, joined by him on the Young Guns couch. But we caught up with another rookie during the week, an ex-volleyball player. Well, Greg had a chat to Chris Jones at the St Kilda Football Club. Here's what he told us.
Chris, a lot of the rookies play for these high-profile clubs, and here I am sitting next to a person that played for Echuca, the seniors team, just one season, and you're here with St Kilda. You know, what's the story with that? I mean, what's going on?
Yeah, it's sort of a bit different sort of path to the AFL, I guess, than what most of the other young guys have had. So started actually in the thirds at Echuca last year for half the season. Then Ken Sheldon actually was the coach down there, and he was with the seniors obviously. And so halfway through the season, gave me a go with the seniors, and yeah, I was there to the end of the year, and then all this happened. Sort of.
Now, you're not void of sporting talent. You're a great volleyballer. Tell us a bit about your volleyball days.
Yeah, I played volleyball pretty much since I suppose grade 6 or something like that, and went through the Bendigo Academy and made a couple of junior Vic teams, and then actually went on tour with the junior Australian team twice at the start of last year and the year before that too. So.
Now, you were coaching up at Echuca when Chris wandered in and asked to play a bit of footy after having all that experience in volleyball.
That's right. Yeah, Chris had played quite a lot of junior football, but had given it away for 2 or 3 seasons, and a few of his mates were doing pretty well in the under-18s, so he came along to join in, and you could basically see a rapid improvement in a short time. So he was invited to our senior list, of which that rapid improvement continued, and he played quite outstandingly in the Goulburn Valley League, where he eventually played as a key member of our premiership side. 18-year-old playing centre-half back wasn't a bad effort, and I guess that improvement was noted by the recruiting scouts at different AFL clubs, and St Kilda seen fit to make a decision through their recruiting department to give Chris a chance through the rookie system, which is an ideal avenue for young fellows to develop.
What made you switch to football? The lack of physicality in volleyball? You couldn't give a shirt front on the court, so you thought, I've got to switch?
I loved playing volleyball, but sort of last year, to keep playing volleyball, I had to travel to Melbourne on weekends, and I was in Year 12 last year, and the travelling was a bit too much to handle with year 12 because I had to come to Melbourne to get high competition sort of thing. And so I had 3 weekends, and I thought I'll just go and play thirds with my mates and go run around and have a kick and see what happens.
How big a role do you think his volleyball history has played in his success as a footballer?
Well, he's certainly, jumping jack, as to speak, and inspector gadget and all that sort of thing with the arm to spoil and all that sort of stuff. He has great mobility, but I think it's a good foundation because he's a very level-headed young man, like he's school captain, and I think the trips nationally as well as internationally have been a good foundation for him and have made it a lot easier for him, a lot more comfortable to fit in an elite sporting environment like the St Kilda Football Club.
It's pretty daunting walking into the first training, sort of you sit down and put your boots on, you look up Stewie Lowe's across the room for you or something like that. Definitely very daunting to start with, but once you get to know them all, you realise they're all just like fellas like at any footy club sort of thing, so it's not too bad.
What are you realistically looking at achieving this season?
Realistically, this season just keep on developing my skills and keep developing as a player this year to hopefully get drafted next year. So I'm on the rookie list this year, so I'd like to get on the senior list next year. That'd be great. And obviously, like you say, to play a senior game would be amazing.
There we go, Chris Jones and Ken Sheldon there from the St Kilda Football Club. Greg, we got to catch up with them.
Impressive youngster. With Steve Armstrong from the Melbourne Football Club. Steve, I've recently moved from home as well, and I found, you spent your whole life making friends back home, and then you move. And it's not hard to make friends. You can be friendly, but it takes a lot of time just to build up rapport and friendship with people. Have you found the same things? I mean, what have you noticed since moving from Perth?
Yeah, you miss your friends, your family and everyone back home, and you don't really go out. Well, I haven't really been out during the pre-season, and you just really get really good mates with just the teammates. Like mate who moved from Queensland, Brad Miller, we're really good mates, and Aaron Rodgers, Molan, all the new blokes. Yeah.
And you sorry, Amy, you were with a foster family.
I'm with Christine and Peter Dorman. Peter's on the Melbourne board, which just got elected, and with them.
Gee, you wouldn't want to leave your room messy with him.
Big trouble.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's a good place.
Now you get into music, Steve?
Yeah, I don't mind music.
Yeah, you said Creed and Live are some of your favourites?
Yeah, like Creed, Live, Powderfinger, all that.
Good one. Okay, well we don't have any Creed or Live, just sorry to disappoint, but we do have another film clip now. Sorry to be rude, Steve. We've got another film clip now. This is System of a Down, and this is Toxicity. System of a Down there with Toxicity.
Thanks to Sony Music, very passionate with the microphone, Steve, wasn't he? Just really
worst song ever.
Oh really? Geez, panned it.
Not a big rap for that one. No votes here.
When you're given the number 2 jumper, Robbie Flowers jumper, can you tell us there's a bit of a funny story behind that when it was presented to you?
It wasn't a presentation of the jumper. It was just a sponsors kind of night. They came and just the new players went along, and Mark Evans, the media bloke, asked me a few questions, called me up, and he goes, and also getting the number 2, Robbie Flower, has he said any words or anything? And I knew everyone, like, Robbie Flower's a big name in Melbourne, so I just thought I'd just say, who's Robbie? And a bit of a laugh.
How did it go down? Was there silence? Or
everyone had a laugh. I know I knew my sense of humour then, and so
we're slowly getting used
slowly accustoming to it.
That's right.
Your sense of humour, I like to break down a person's personality by how they behave in, say, a nightclub setting. Are you a person, Steve, who sits at the bar, goes straight to the dance floor for some pole dancing, or chats among the guests? You know, which is your personality, if any of those?
Oh yeah, pole dancing. Yeah.
Pole dancing.
No,
see, I could tell that just by looking at you. You're a pole dancer from way back.
No, I just stand there. Actually, I just stand and talk to friends.
Oh, good.
As does everyone in the
nice and
nightclub.
relaxed. Stands around and has that friendly aura coming off you.
Yeah.
Lovely. Lovely. Now round 2's coming up. Big round. Who you guys are playing? Port Adelaide.
Yeah, Port Adelaide at the MCG.
At the MCG. Looking forward to that one.
Yeah,
Good one. It's going to be a big one.
Yeah. Can I just quickly ask you, you're from Kalamunda in Perth, which is about 15 minutes out from the city, and I know for a fact that there's a little cove that overlooks the city, and a lot of couples in their cars go there for a bit of conversation.
Yeah,
have you been there, Steve?
No, the scenery is beautiful where I am, and you just overlook the city, and you watch the fireworks, and it's wonderful. Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Steve Armstrong, for coming in to be in the show.
Okay.
Thank you for this. I'll throw that at Greg, and we'll get out of here. We'll see you next week on Young Guns. Take it easy.
Oh, he's gone crazy.
He's gone nuts.